Hello, welcome to Thor Talk, the show all about Marvel's resident god of thunder. On this episode of Thor Talk, we look at the new Thor What If comic. We all know the story. Asgard and Jotunheim come into conflict. Odin kills Laufey and adopts Loki as his own son. But what if, on that fateful day, it was Laufey who emerged victorious? What if Thor was taken back to Jotunheim? What if Thor was raised by the frost giants? Let's see what would happen on Thor Talk.
I am Thor the Thunderer, son of Odin, prince of Asgard, and this world is under my protection.
What If Thor #1 was written by Ethan Sachs and was published in October of 2018. The story begins in the icy realm of Jotunheim, where the armies of Asgard are fighting to bring peace to the Nine Realms. Gungnir clashes with Laufey's hammer as Odin begs the Frost Giant King to end his senseless bloodshed. Laufey refuses and the battle goes on. Odin and Laufey remain locked in combat for quite some time, but Odin sees his chance and stabs Gungnir at the head of the dreaded Laufey. But the Frost Giant dodges the attack and bashes Odin with his hammer. Odin is dead. With Odin dead, Laufey decimates Asgard, crashing into the throne room where Freya tells her son Thor to stay back. The Queen of Asgard will not let them kill her son, but Laufey tells her that he has no intention of killing her or the boy. As Freya is defeated by the giants, Thor picks up her sword and charges at Laufey to protect his mother and avenge his father. But Laufey easily grabs the boy, stopping him, saying that in Valhalla, Odin will have to witness Laufey's greatest triumph, as he will raise Odin's son as his own. Thor shivers in the cold dungeons of Jotunheim, muttering to himself that when he gets bigger, he will bring down all of Jotunheim. To his surprise, Thor's muttering is met with a reply from a small frost giant. The young Jotun introduces himself as Loki, son of Laufey. Loki takes off his fur and gives it to Thor, saying that a future prince of Jotunheim should not be seen shivering. Thor questions why Loki is being so nice to him. Well, everyone else here hates me, and you have not made up your mind yet. I have made up my mind. I like you, so I won't kill you with the rest of them. That is a relief, I suppose. He gives Thor an amulet that he carved as a symbol of their brotherhood. May it remind you that, even here, you are not alone. Years later, the two brothers find themselves hunting a Jotunheim beast with their father. The beast kills 3 frost giants with one swipe, but Loki, eager to please his father, rushes towards the beast, turning invisible so as to sneak up upon it. But the beast can smell him and pins him with its massive claws. Loki cries out desperately for his father to save him, but no help will come from the king of Jotunheim. I will send you to hell, foul beast, before you hurt my brother! Thor uses his spear to pry the creature's jaws open and falls down its throat. But the beast will not feast on Asgardian today, for Thor sends a massive lightning bolt down upon the beast, killing it, as Thor, Prince of Winter, emerges victorious. Laufey scolds Thor for rescuing Loki, as his ways bring shame upon him and his people. But he also praises Thor for bringing pride to their people, and one day, Thor may wield Ice Crusher, the hammer passed down to the kings of the Frost Giants. In frustration, Loki goes to the dungeon muttering angrily at how his magic could have worked, but his muttering is overheard by the lone prisoner in the dungeons, Freya. Over the next few years, Loki would secretly confide in Freya, and she would teach him her magics. One day, Loki makes a plan with her to escape and take the Bifrost to Midgard. Without Freya, Thor has been occupied with his new parent over the years, and Laufey gives Ice Crusher to Thor. Thor vows to prove himself worthy of this honor. Loki emerges to give Thor a half-hearted congratulations for earning Ice Crusher, but is surprised to have Thor hug his brother, saying that he is happy to see him again. Thor tells him that tomorrow, both of them are to march on Muspelheim with their father, but Loki sees this as an opportunity to enact his plan. So, when Thor and Laufey are away, he frees Freya. However, Thor and Laufey are not on Muspelheim, but Asgard. Laufey knows of Loki's visits, and now plans to punish his son for treachery. Laufey grabs Loki and prepares to kill him, ignoring Thor's pleas to show Loki mercy, but Loki stabs Laufey in the eye, killing him. Thor is now enraged, attacking Loki and firing a blast from Ice Crusher at him. But Freya pushes Loki out of the way, and the blast hits her instead, and she turns to ice before crumbling in Loki's hands. Loki tells Thor that Laufey and Ice Crusher have corrupted him so much that he doesn't even recognize his own mother. Thor is horrified to learn that he just slew his mother, but that horror turns to anger that Loki knew this whole time. He renews his attack, and Loki finds himself on the ground, with Thor preparing to kill him. Loki expresses his frustration that they didn't just let him go, to walk his own path. Thor lowers Ice Crusher, grips the amulet that Loki made for him all those years ago in his hand, and tells him to leave. Loki gives Thor an offer to come with him to Earth, but Thor says he must stay to protect his people. He has his purpose. Now he tells Loki that he must go find his. With Loki gone, Thor falls to his knees in despair, on what remains of Asgard, surrounded by what remains of his mother, and what remains of his father. The narrator that is telling us this story tells us that this was the last time that Thor ever saw Loki. But Loki did find his purpose as a great champion of Earth. The narrator's children want to hear more stories of Thor, but the narrator's wife scolds him for telling such stories during a storm. The narrator goes out into the storm to see that something has been left for him. It is the amulet that he carved for Thor all those years ago, a gift from his brother to remind him that, even here, he is not alone. A smile spreads across the face of Loki as he grasps the gift and looks up at the storm. This is another issue that I really enjoyed. These stories in different realities really give the writer freedom to do what they want and to give closure to a story rather than dragging it out. When I began this issue, I thought it was about Thor, and as I continued, I thought it was about Loki. But it is only now that I've read the whole thing that I realize it's really about their brotherhood, the strong connection that these two characters have as brothers that could not be broken. It was simple, yet so brilliantly executed. So all I have to say is, we need more comics like this.